Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into quite a stack of fascinating sources.
Yeah, looking at AI again.
Exactly. And how it's, rapidly shaping things from
Right.
maybe what you wear to how countries work together, even down to intelligence itself.
And beauty standards, too, which is, well, quite the range.
It really is. So our mission, as always, is to dig into these sources, pull out the key insights, and help you get a handle on where AI is heading.
We'll connect the dots, find those surprising facts, basically give you a shortcut to being up to speed on this incredibly fast-moving topic.
Okay, let's start with something, well, tangible. AI you can actually wear.
Mhm.
Our first source gives us a look at Alibaba's first AI-powered glasses, the Quark glasses. They show them off in Shanghai.
Right, at WAIC. And what's really interesting here is this is Alibaba's big entry into smart glasses. It's not just a gadget launch.
Ah, okay.
It really highlights their huge AI investment. What is it, like US $53 billion planned for AI infrastructure?
Hmm.
Yeah. And they're jumping into a pretty crowded market in China, with companies like Rocket and X-Rail already there. They've even partnered up with Raineo, an AR glasses maker.
So it's a serious play.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like they see this as the next big thing after smartphones, owning that interface.
And didn't the head of their smart terminal business, Song Gang, say something pretty bold, like AI glasses will be the most important wearable?
He did. He said there'll be like another pair of eyes and ears for humans,
Oh,
which is, well, it's a big claim, right?
yeah.
Especially given how smart glasses have kind of stumbled before.
Yeah, exactly. So what makes them think they can pull it off this time?
Well, a lot of it seems tied to their own AI. They're using their proprietary Q AI models.
Okay, those are their foundational LLMs like GPT or Gemini.
Exactly. And embedding those directly into the glasses means they're aiming for something more than just voice commands. It's supposed to be a genuinely intelligent assistant.
Hmm. Understanding complex stuff in real time.
Right. And they've also redone their Quark AI assistant. It used to be a search engine. Now it's an all-in-one AI assistant. Plus, they've shuffled things internally, separating AI application and model teams to focus more on consumer gear.
But what about those classic problems? They feel awkward, the battery dies in an hour, the AI isn't actually that helpful. How are they planning to tackle that?
That's the key question, isn't it? Song did point to some specifics. He said the arms of the glasses are 40% smaller than usual.
Okay, so less bulky.
Pinner frame, too.
Oh.
And they're using Qualcomm's Snapdragon AR1 chip.
Ah, that's significant, right? That chip is built for AR.
Exactly. Optimized for low latency, better power use, handling those visual overlays smoothly. And they're running 2 operating systems.
2? How does that work?
Well, Android for the user interface and apps, the familiar stuff, but also a real-time operating system, an RTOS.
Okay.
That RTOS is crucial for things needing instant response, like the AR overlays or gesture controls. It helps avoid that annoying lag you sometimes get.
What really jumps out at me, though, isn't just the hardware. It's how it plugs into Alibaba's whole world.
Yeah, the ecosystem integration.
Right. Like using the glasses to pay with Alipay just by looking at a QR code, or checking Taobao prices by scanning an item, or getting directions from a map while you're walking. It feels like they're weaving the AI right into your daily routine, but only if you're using their services. How important is that strategy?
Oh, it's absolutely central. It's about making their AI invisible, but indispensable, locking you into their ecosystem through sheer convenience.
Right.
It's less about selling glasses and more about deepening your reliance on everything Alibaba offers. A platform play, basically.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit. From these specific gadgets to the bigger global picture, how are countries dealing with AI?
Well, our next source looks at China's new AI action plan,
Hmm.
also announced at WAIC, interestingly, just days after the U.S. put out its own strategy.
The timing's interesting.
Very. And if you put it side by side, China's plan sounds, well, quite different. It talks a lot about international cooperation, proposing an international organization, emphasizing open source development.
All right.
It kind of positions China not just as a competitor, but maybe as a different kind of global leader for AI, offering an alternative framework.
So what are the implications there? The plan mentions things like joint R&D, sharing data openly, cross-border infrastructure, AI training for developing nations.
Yeah.
And Premier Li Qiang warned AI shouldn't be an exclusive game. It sounds almost collaborative,
Yeah.
especially next to the U.S. talk about global dominance.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is it genuine collaboration or more of a strategic move?
Right.
I mean, the U.S. plan is focused on deregulation, growth, aiming for that top spot. China, meanwhile, seems to be actively reaching out to developing countries with this open approach.
Offering them a different path.
Potentially, yeah, an alternative leader, maybe, for countries that feel left out of a more Western-centric strategy. But China's plan also stresses balancing innovation with security, talking about global risk frameworks, working with the UN on governance.
So it's probably a bit of both, collaboration and strategic positioning.
I think that's fair to say. It's definitely a move to build alliances and influence how global AI rules get written, likely on terms favorable to them.
Okay, we've hit wearables, global strategy. What about the AI itself, like the fundamental technology?
Ah, yes. Our next source dives into that. There's a startup from Singapore, Sapient Intelligence.
Sapient Intelligence, right.
And they claim they've tackled a really big problem with current large language models, LLMs.
Which is?
Well, it's about how they reason. Unlike us humans who can think things through internally, LLMs basically have to write everything down. It's called chain of thought prompting.
Right, I've heard of that, like thinking out loud.
Exactly. Imagine having to narrate every single tiny step, even the wrong turns, just to solve a puzzle. It's really inefficient.
Uses a ton of computing power, I bet.
Huge amounts. And it can be brittle if one step in that narration is slightly off, the whole thing can fail. Makes current AI very data hungry and expensive to run.
So what did Sapient Intelligence do differently? They've got this new architecture.
Yeah, the Hierarchical Reasoning Model, or HRM, they say it's designed to mimic how human brains think more closely.
Yeah.
It uses two connected modules. Think of it like a supervisor and a worker. They collaborate internally.
Okay, a supervisor and a worker. So the AI can kind of think without having to spell everything out as text.
That seems to be the idea. It allows for internal reasoning, requiring way less compute power than traditional models.
And the results.
Pretty staggering, according to the source. The HRM apparently outperformed much bigger models on complex reasoning tasks. It was 100 times faster.
100 times.
And got near-perfect scores on problems where even state-of-the-art models just completely bombed.
Wow. Okay, so the sort of takeaway here is that AI could get way more efficient.
Right.
More accessible.
Exactly. It suggests a shift away from just throwing massive amounts of data and power at problems towards something more elegant, more like how we reason internally.
Yeah.
Could really democratize advanced AI.
That sounds almost, well, revolutionary if it pans out. 100x faster, near perfect. What's the real-world impact for, say, businesses?
Well, the big one is cost savings, obviously, and new capabilities. Training times could potentially drop from months to just hours.
Hours instead of months.
Yeah. And it can be huge for fields needing complex decisions. Fast think, healthcare, climate modeling, robotics. Places where speed, accuracy, and efficiency are all critical.
So powerful AI might not just be for the tech giants anymore.
That's the promise, anyway. A future where advanced AI is more widely available.
That's fascinating stuff on the core tech. But let's pivot now. As AI gets smarter and more integrated, how does it start messing with, well, us, our perceptions? Something really personal like beauty.
Yeah, this last source takes us there. It's about a new supermodel who appeared in Vogue's August print edition. Striking, stylish.
And completely fake.
Exactly. Not a real person. It was actually in a Guess advert.
An ad, not editorial. Still
a big deal. Vogue said it was the first time an AI-generated person had ever featured in the magazine. And it definitely stirred things up, caused quite a controversy.
I can imagine. The immediate question is, what does this mean for actual human models, especially those who fought so hard for more diversity?
Precisely.
And what about us, the consumers, particularly young people who already deal with so many unrealistic images?
The company behind this AI model is called Seraphine Valora. They describe creating the model as complex, takes maybe up to a month, costs into the low six figures.
So not exactly cheap yet.
Not yet. But critics, like the plus-size model Felicity Hayward, are calling it lazy and cheap anyway. She called it disheartening and quite scary. worried it could just erase years of progress on diversity. She pointed to models like Valentina Sampaio, Halima Aden, brands like Savage X Fenty in the 2010s that pushed for different bodies.
And she fears this is a step backwards, especially for plus-size models.
That's her concern, yeah, that the industry might just slide back.
How does the company Serafine Valora respond to that?
Well, they defend it. They say they don't create unattainable looks and that their guess model looks quite realistic.
Realistic, an AI model.
That's their claim. And they argue, look, all advertising aims for perfection anyway. This is just a new tool for that.
Kind of a nothing new to see here argument.
Sort of. But then if you dig a little deeper, they actually admit their own company's Instagram doesn't show much diversity.
Oh.
Yeah, and they claim it's because users just don't engage with those posts as much. They also admit the tech isn't really good enough yet to create realistic plus-size women.
Wait, so they can't even create diverse models easily with the tech yet?
Apparently not convincingly enough for them, which kind of echoes that Dove campaign from 2024, remember?
Vaguely.
They asked image generators to create the most beautiful woman, and they basically all spat out the same image. Young, thin, white, blonde, over and over.
So the bias is baked into the AI or the data it learns from.
Seems like it. It's not just the tool. It's what the tool is learning from and being asked to create.
And this obviously raises serious mental health flags, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Vanessa Longley from the Eating Disorder Cherry Beat warned about this directly. Constantly seeing these perfect, unrealistic bodies affect self-esteem increases the risk of eating disorders.
And unlike airbrushing, which alters a real person, this is fabricated perfection. No human flaws at all.
Exactly. Created digitally to be flawless without any of the uniqueness that makes someone human.
Then there's the transparency issue. Do they have to say it's AI?
That's another critical point.
Yeah.
In the UK, apparently there's no legal requirement to label AI-generated content.
Really?
Yeah. And the disclaimer on the guest ad was apparently tiny. Sinead Bovell, she's a former model turned tech entrepreneur, called this exceptionally problematic.
Quite problematic.
She points out that young girls are already seeking plastic surgery to look like social media filters, if they don't even know the images they're seeing aren't real people.
It blurs the lines even further. Yeah, I can see that. What about the people who work in fashion? Photographers, makeup artists, stylists?
Right, the whole ecosystem around a photo shoot. Sarah Ziff from the Model Alliance sees this guest campaign less as innovation and more as, well, desperation and need to cut costs.
Cutting costs by cutting people.
That's the fear. She stressed the need for protections for everyone involved in creating fashion imagery.
How does Serafine Valora frame that? Do they say they're replacing people?
They maintain their tech is just supplementary. They say it's not meant to replace models, that it creates jobs, that they even need real models sometimes to see how clothes look initially.
Okay, so supplementary.
But, and this is a big but, their own website lists cost savings as a key benefit. It literally says it can eliminate the need for expensive setups, MUA artists, venue rentals, stage setting, photographers, travel expenses, hiring models.
Whoa. That sounds like a direct contradiction.
It certainly seems that way. It really raises questions about the real economic impact on all those creative professionals.
So, looking ahead, what's the future here? Is the modeling industry just going to be filled with AI?
Some people predict more AI models, definitely. But Sinead Bovell, the tech entrepreneur we mentioned, she doesn't think every model will be AI.
Okay.
She sees some potential positives, like maybe creating a personal AI avatar to try on clothes virtually.
That could be useful.
But she also warns that if AI models become too perfect, too unattainable, society might just reject them, kind of opt out.
Interesting. So what's your main takeaway from this whole AI and beauty intersection? It feels complicated.
It is complicated.
Yeah.
For me, the key thing is that this isn't just about technology or cool images. It's about how tech deeply influences our self-image, our culture, and has very real economic consequences for people. Right. It just screams for clear ethical thinking and transparency. We need to know what's real and what isn't, especially when it comes to something as sensitive as body image.
Right. So from AI glasses becoming maybe part of our daily lives, building these digital ecosystems, to countries figuring out how to lead or cooperate on AI development.
Yeah, but the global strategy aspect.
To these fundamental breakthroughs in how AI might actually think.
The HRM model, yeah.
And then landing on this really personal, really controversial impact on beauty standards. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. It just shows how fast AI is moving.
Yeah.
And touching almost everything, often asking more questions than it answers, maybe.
Yeah.
Challenging how we see things.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, something to chew on. We see these rapid AI advances, different countries taking different paths, and now AI influencing something as personal as beauty. How do we as a society draw the line, between useful innovation and maybe harmful consequences? And what role does transparency, just knowing what's real, play in drawing that line, especially when it gets harder and harder to tell?